Hi, this is Speak On It. Today's program is a little different because it's somewhat, well, let me just say this. Some of us have been around a long time. That's why we call this retro current team. Intergenerational, we call it a task force, but intergenerational collaboration between older generations and more current generations. And the reason this program today is sort of different is that we have something that I experienced all my life, growing up, and even now if I went to some of those churches in the area that I grew. But because of social media, I think more than anything else, things are able to get out of contest, whatever you want to use. Because this situation is not the negativity that the venom is describing. Now, I went through quite a few clips, and I used a lot of those Wednesday night on the radio show. But I can't use all of them here. But the variety of conversation is about as many as you have people that think they go to church or know something. And some of what's being said, you can tell that these are people that just like confusion. And the sadness is, you will hear one piece that speaks for itself. But I would say this, $20 is $20, but $20 is not something that people at that type of conference, that type of activity, were victimized by sharing. I say all of that carefully because I don't want to be in the middle of it. Because I truly believe that what the man did and what he said, except for his tone of voice, I mean, it's something that's always been done in many churches, in many areas. His tone of voice, his postures, you know, some people communicate differently. That might have irritated me. If I was there, the tone of voice might have made me say, whoa, dude, who you talking to? But other than that, I didn't see what all of the craziness was about. So hit those pieces, Miss Amani, and we'll just holler.
God does something for you, the least you can do. All right, I hear you. When God blesses your life, the least you can do. When God does something for you, the least you can do. And say thank you. When God brings you through, the least you can do. When God gets you over, the least you can do. When God puts your enemies under your feet, the least you can do. When God makes sure that you got what you need, the least you can do. I said when God takes care of you, the least you can do is say thank you. You don't not wait till tomorrow to say thank you. You don't not wait till next week to say thank you. You don't not wait till this afternoon to say thank you. But if God has been good to you, you ought to say thank you right now. You ought to say hallelujah right now. You ought to say thank you, Jesus, right now. In other words, when God does something for you, the least you can do.
You know, because I can't hit a mic, I'm not sure if that was Bishop Sapp or the arrangement or the order. But let me just say this. I think that was the longer version of all of the sound bites we've been hearing, where, you know, it made sense on its own. And I think what happens is that something, particularly for Negroes, particularly you new generation blacks, y'all just, y'all in bad shape. You'll meet some skank or some trick, male or female, in a bar, anywhere. And you think it's normal to just go out to dinner and run up a bill for $400 and sometimes try to run out of the place and don't pay. That's what you think. And y'all grown. Or you'll go there and one of you will expect the other one to pay $400 or $500 just because you two idiots ordered $500 worth of food. That's how stupid you all have gotten. You blacks, you new generations. Because any Negro, anybody from back in the day, got enough sense to know the value of money. Now, I say that to say this. Now, all of those people on social media running their damn mouth, they brag about, many of them brag about the scams and the finessing they do to others. How they go out and spend all this money to date. But a man say, $20 times 1,000 people here. Now, there's 4 of them up there for the conference. But $20 times 1,000, that's cash. That'll give us $20,000. It's a seed. We can use it for something, whatever. Maybe they're going to fix the building. Maybe they're going to buy a building. Maybe they're going to do whatever, something tangible. Now, the rest of you all that's on social media, online, $20 from you. So when we combine it, we got $40,000. Now, what is so wrong with that? For a group of damn slaves that spend over $1.6 trillion a year in this country, they think the white man's supposed to take care of your dumb behinds. They want to talk about segregation coming back. But when you had segregation, your dumb behind owned property. Because you seeded, you put the money together. Integration, you don't own nothing, but you make everybody else rich. So a preacher say, this is a good way to do it. $20 a piece. Think about it. And in an hour, the collection would be over. And that congregation, that denomination got $40,000. But everybody there was supposed to be part of that church group, supposed to be saints. So if the saints are the one that's there, who is the devil that started this confusion? See, that's the point. If everybody that was at that convention was supposed to be a church active member and was probably elected to represent an area, then how did all this confusion get started? It got started because of the devil and your ignorance. How in the hell are you Negroes making all this fuss over $20 damn that would have turned into $40,000 if 2,000 people would give up $20? I mean, that's basic. That should be happening every Sunday, all the time. We should be giving $20 in that type of number, and at the end of the year, you see how much money we would have? But no, you're too busy trying to act like you're a big shot. You're too busy thinking that you're supposed to be on Section 8 and food stamps with your slave behind. This man ain't did nothing but gave you an opportunity to contribute to something in a collective, and you went completely slave. What a shame. That devil there, that concept that's in you new generations, gonna have your asses back on the plantation. When AI get through with you, you ain't got enough sense to come together with $20 a piece, and you think somebody trying to rip you off, lock the doors. He didn't say lock the doors, he said close the doors. And if we had time, you would see in many churches, those are sacred times, collecting money. You've seen these movies with Ice Cube and others where they done robbed the church and something, da-da-da-da-da. So why you all acting so, and it's gotta be the public. Because the church members, no one in that congregation, that denomination, Nobody that's a legitimate member of that would be this stupid. Because now you have defamed a person and discredit a whole damn race. Hit the next one, Mr. Lonnie.
With Marvin Sapp's offering talk. Let's get into it. What's going on? It's your boy D. Brandon Campbell. Listen, people not going to like me for saying this, but all right. So I've been in church most of my life and I understand how offerings go. And I think the church is not realizing that we're in the middle of a shift and doing things the way we've done it for the past 15, 20 or 30 years is no longer working. People are recording you, clipping what you're doing and putting it online. And even if it's not for nefarious reasons, when you do certain things that used to work back in the day, it just doesn't work anymore. And many of our church leaders don't realize that those offering tactics have been abused. He was just trying to raise a certain amount of money to pay off a conference debt is what I heard. But the game that's being played, lock the doors and give me a certain amount of seed and that type of thing. And people are just turned off by that. Not that he was doing it for any bad reasons, but people are turned off by that because it's been used to abuse people out of their money. And so if you're a church leader and you're watching this right now, it's time to pray, get into the spirit and find a new way to raise your offering. I think he would have done better just saying, hey, I need everybody here who can to be a blessing and help me raise this conference budget because we want to make sure that we can cover everything and be in good standing so that we can continue with our conference. I will also say this as a criticism. We've got to do a better job in the Black church with planning our events, trying to raise all this money off the backs of people who are struggling with $10 eggs and trying to figure out how they're going to eat. It may not be the time to do certain conferences or certain services. Again, not attacking Marvin Sapp. I'm not 100% sure how all that came together, but it just is a good opportunity to talk about how we need to do a better job in the church now of realizing that some of these tactics have been abused, and we just have to admit it. It's our fault. It's the church's fault that the people don't trust us with money. And that's just the reality, because not only did they see people abuse the money, but they also saw those of you who are not abusing money. You didn't stand up to those who are abusing the money, and then you brought them to your church and you let them raise an offering on your people, and you all are not realizing that it is making the kingdom look bad. Don't shoot me the messenger. I'm just telling you the truth. Pastors, it's time to find a new way to do your offering and deal with finances in your church. If you don't allow yourself to get this new download in the spirit about how to collect money for the kingdom of God, you're going to find yourself being pushed out of the way because these tactics are not working any longer. All in love. I hope I brought some clarity and hope I ignited a little bit of fire into somebody. Love you. Here's the problem.
You know, and that brother made sense, and he spoke it clear. And I think what he said is interesting. And those of us that have lived to where we are. We living in you all's time. So I believe that the current retro, that's me, I know that. And because we have been allowed to live, to be elders, to be this age, we have to accept the fact that things have changed and are changing. So the way things did when I was a boy, you can't do that now, for the most part. The way things are now is as they are. And we have to deal with that. And I think that young man gave a good perspective without going too lopsided. And I guess best I can say is that until all of the older people die out, there will be glitches like this. And the sadness is the young has no respect now for the old. They look at older people with contempt, impatience, intolerance. And they want to say that's because older people were so cruel and so neglectful and abusive. Stop telling all these damn lies. You just was allowed to be spoiled. Like what happened downtown the other day with all them damn wild, savage butt kids. You got a damn stupid mayor that don't know a damn thing about kids, that think that if you call it for what it is and put things in place that have consequences, you won't have this. But it didn't just start under him. But he the one that think that you demonize them when you call them out. But they've been doing this ever since, really, that Lightfoot person and him. These two colors, they have no idea how to stop black kids from just being unruly. They don't. When Daley and them was there was a different type of energy. Oh, it might happen sometime, but tearing up downtown or anywhere, just year after year after year, no, it wasn't happening. Stop telling that lie. It wasn't happening. Under Harold Washington, they put us in place, the Chicago Intervention Network. It wasn't happening. Under that boy, Rahm Emanuel, it might have got sort of loose, but it wasn't happening. It got out of hand under these two colors. And then it just became a routine that kids can go downtown and they have turned it into damn near a ghetto. Tear up stuff, shot somebody, stabbed somebody else, not to mention all of the people they laid hands on and knocked down. Yeah, that's what we have grown into, and that's what we have lived into. And you running around all week talking about a preacher that said, let's seed $20 a piece, and we will have $40,000 to do something good with. We all pray. But all he was doing is saying, let's invest in each other in order to get this amount of money. That's an honorable thing. But you would rather have your little kid downtown tearing up millions of dollars worth of stuff and say nothing and talk crazy because the preacher instructed the ushers to close the doors in a tone of voice that you so sensitive, you thought it meant hold me hostage. You thought it meant depriving me of my rights. You just a pathetic descendant of slaves. You ain't worthy to be called a Negro. You damn sure no African American, cause there ain't no such thing. And the black that you are, you that. A demon that is void of any common sense. Hit the other one, sister.
We cry. Beyonce will ask 50,000 people to sow $1,000, and we comply. This is what's crazy. Marvin Sapp will ask 2,000 people to sow $20. We cry. Beyonce will ask 50,000 people to sow $1,000, and we comply. This is what's crazy.
Now, I guess at the end of the day, that was the piece I referred to in the beginning. I guess that says it all. Some naked behind female can have, or whatever you call them things they have, and ask 50,000 people to give $1,000 a piece. You don't say a damn thing. Them Democratic reptilians, they was running around, they gave that female $1 billion, and she had blew it on naked females, gyrating their bodies around, scum, ratchet. All that money, you said nothing. But here's the preacher. Say, if, he didn't say all 4,000 people, he said, if 1,000 is here, give 20. The 1,000 that's over there online, give 20. You see what we have accomplished? And you all just done turn it into a mess. Now the whole world looking at you. The whole world trying to figure out what type of cheap people are these. $40,000? You know, and they got other people that are just grown in the church. They saying to him, he act like him and his people are the ones that own the church and all this. You know how everything coming out of the woodwork. Probably with some of his members from wherever his church is, they came there to start this because they're having a situation in the church. They want to say he sort of, like you don't like the way we doing it, leave. Because it might have a family root. So a lot of some personal, petty, slave stuff. So now these demons, slaves, have taken it. You've forgotten the song, never could have made it. A lot of you Negroes done crawled yourself out of depression listening to his music. He's been able to touch you and inspire you. And he was trying to give you a seed where you could measure the result of what 2,000 people could do with $20 a piece. That is so simple. That is a formula that should be used all over the place because $20 ain't gonna hurt you today. Don't tell me about all ain't got nothing to eat yet. Man, shut the hell up. If you ain't got nothing to eat, that's because your damn mama or daddy or grandmama took the food stamps and spent it on something other than somebody's food. But stop trying to make like you so poor and you so needy that you can't spend $20 to invest with each other, to build your own damn schools, to build your own hospitals, to build your own factories, to have your own community. Here you are, to have your own stores, hospitals. It could start with $20 a head. But you're so ornery, so jealous-hearted, so hateful toward each other, that now you sit here and the whole world can see that you are unworthy of anything other than what white folks do to you. And you talking about Trump. And a man tell you, here's a key, here's a secret. 1,000 people with $20. 2,000 people with $20. If you could do that in your community, if you could do that in any group, all them damn kids that tearing up stuff, they ought to take all of their parents and charge them $20 a piece. Every one of them little bastards down there tearing up stuff, go get their mammy and their pappy. Charge them $20 a head. See how much money you have? So easy. Because they've done $1 billion worth of what? Damage. But you don't see nothing wrong with that. You think that's okay. For somebody to say, look here, let's get together and raise $40,000 by the time the plates or the baskets are counted. What a beautiful, beautiful opportunity to seed and grow a community and get off of this damn plantation and colony that you damn black new generation slaves have chosen to go back to, and our Negro ancestors died fighting to be free. And now you too stupid to be free and invest in yourself, but brag about spending thousands of dollars to go to games, play games, and eat in a restaurant. Till next time, Alafia, peace, and good health.